This Jersey girl has no filter.
So are you getting a lot of hate?
Yeah, a lot of hate.
Bullshit. No.
Welcome to BS with Bella.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of BS with Bella, and I'm with General Booty here. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming. So, everyone is probably wondering, you have a very unique name. What is the meaning behind it?
Yeah, so my dad came up with the name when he was a teenager. Actually, he was
Oh, really?
really big into the military, and was just, I guess, getting creative and said if he ever had a son, he was going to name him General. And just,
Oh,
I guess, talked my mom into it somehow. So
it flows really nice. Do you have any siblings with similar like military names?
not really. I'm kind of the only one in the family, so it's unique. I have a younger sister named Avery. Actually, everyone in my family's got an A name. My dad's Abram, my mom's Amy. So I'm kind of the one that sticks out.
Now, like you said, your name has like a very, creative side. Would you ever
Mhm.
name your kid something like that?
I've thought about it. I haven't came up with anything yet good enough to where I'm like, this is what I'm going to do for sure. But
Yeah.
maybe keep something along the lines of like
Like
Commander or something like that. But
that's like really like
I don't know.
clever.
It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight. So I gotta figure out something good.
How was growing up with the name? I mean, it's so unique. Like, yeah, I've never
Yeah.
heard anything like it.
Yeah, it was interesting. Obviously, as little kids and stuff,
Yeah.
friends and stuff would make fun or whatever. But
Mm.
I was lucky enough to go to a elementary school that was part of a high school. My grandfather was the athletic director there.
Oh,
My uncles, growing up, all played football there and were great football players to the high school. So the last name Booty wasn't unfamiliar
yeah.
in the area. I guess like kids would say stuff or whatever when I was really young, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like something totally odd. But
Yeah.
I never had met anyone. Still to this day, haven't met anyone named General. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. To get
Mhm.
into like the good stuff, what inspired you to play football?
Yeah. So going back to like I said, I had a lot of my family growing up.
Mm.
All my uncles played. My father played. My grandfather played. So I was always around it growing up, and they all played quarterback except for my father. He played receiver.
Okay.
But I grew up going to my uncle's games, watching my dad
Yeah.
play when I grew up, college, NFL. So they were always kind of the influence around me, getting to see them training or
Yeah.
playing or them helping me with whatever I needed when it came to football. So it was just something that was kind of always around and
Yeah.
always had fun doing and could spend time with them and bond.
So, did anyone play at a professional level? I know you said the NFL. Did your grandfather or your dad play or your
Yeah, so I
uncle?
had my dad play in the NFL just for a
Okay.
little bit. He ended up having back surgery and was done.
Um,
And then I had two uncles play quarterback in the NFL for a little while.
oh, what teams were they on?
The Vikings, Cleveland Browns, Raiders,
Oh.
and the Seahawks. Yep. So they moved around a little bit.
Like you said, your last name had a very history where you're from. Where are you
Mhm.
originally from?
I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. So that's where
Oh,
I grew up until I was about 13 years old. I actually kind of have a little bit of a unique story. I moved around, went to four different high schools
wow.
growing up. So I've lived in Southern California. I've lived in Texas. San Antonio was one place for high school.
Oh,
Dallas is
wow.
second, and then Louisiana. So I've moved around quite a bit, but spent majority of my time in Shreveport, Louisiana, where I grew up.
So have you like done the Louisiana style like boil that is like famous on TikTok?
Oh,
Like, is
oh
that
yeah,
have you did
the
that when you
crawfish
were younger?
boil. Oh yeah,
Yes.
yes. So that's actually funny. Crawfish is my favorite food. So it's actually just crawfish season just started up.
Oh,
It always
wow.
starts kind of early January and we'll go through April. But I'm trying to find a time when I can make it down to Shreveport or maybe get some shipped up here and do a boil at the house for a lot of the guys.
Nice.
I think it'd be fun. But yeah, I love crawfish and it's a fun atmosphere and something fun you can do and have all your buddies and stuff around. So
That's so cool. So I see
hmm
you like giving back to your community. Do you have like a
hmm
favorite charity?
yeah, the Children's Hospital in Oklahoma City. That's probably what I've done the most work with
Yeah.
since I've been here in Norman. Um, I kind of just reached out to them one day because uh, it was a spot down in OKC. It wasn't too far, and um, always like dealing with children and being around them and like what they do and their mission. And so just reached out to them one day and they've been awesome and got to know them down there and been down there multiple times. And they've helped me out a ton as far as being able to work with them and do put on things for them. So it's been really cool.
How did you end up at OU? Like you said, you went to 4 different high schools.
Hmm.
How did you end up at
I played your brother Pete,
Yep.
by the way. I'm sure he's told you my
Yes.
junior year in high school. Yeah, so I went to 4 different high schools. COVID what happened during my senior year.
Yeah.
So the football season was a little bit limited. Coaches weren't coming by. Had a couple small offers coming out of high school,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I had just had 2 cousins that were older than me. I had 3 or 4 years older, and they had went to play JUCO, and they had both made it out. One played linebacker at North Carolina, and the other
Oh,
one played linebacker at Baylor. So I had just recently watched them play JUCO ball, which was good competition, and I saw that they did well and got looks, and so I was like, you know what, I think I can do a year of JUCO and see if I can get some bigger offers or a better opportunity. Maybe give it a year for some of the COVID guys to clear
yeah.
out that were coming back for an extra year. So I went to Tyler Junior College
Okay.
in East Texas. I was there for 1 year, played a season, and finished my school there through the spring semester. And we had our spring game, and Coach Levy was the offense coordinator at the time at
Yeah.
Oklahoma. Came down or gave me a call and said he was coming down to the game to watch me and a couple
Oh,
other
that's
coaches.
cool.
Yep, and so I had a good spring game and a good spring, and he invited me up for a visit after that, and it was kind of a quick turnaround. We had like 2 weeks. I had like 2 weeks to decide
Oh,
between
wow.
there. I was looking at a couple other places, but I had never been to Oklahoma before. Obviously, was like cheered for Baker and Kyler, like
Yeah.
watching them growing up. They were fun, but had never been up to Oklahoma's campus or like a huge fan. Growing up, I was an LSU fan, being from
Yeah.
Louisiana. My dad and my uncle both played there, so I was a big LSU fan. That was my team. But came up here and fell in love with the coaches, the place, the people, and I was like, I know this is where I want to be. So I committed actually when I was up here on my visit, and been loving it ever since.
And then the rest is history.
Yep, yep,
And isn't it crazy to think that now you may play LSU? So is it kind of just like a little funny like circle now that you're gonna be playing
yeah.
like your home team?
No, for sure, for sure. Because growing up, I wanted to go to LSU all the way. I knew they hadn't had the best quarterbacks or had threw it a lot when I was growing up. They were more of a running team, and then
Yeah.
Joe Burrow came in and kind of changed all of that. And
Yeah.
but growing up, I was like, I still want to go to LSU no matter what. But never got the opportunity. I went to a couple camps or whatever, and they were
Yeah.
nice and all that, but never had the opportunity. And so I was like, well, I guess never get play for them, play against them, whatever. And then we get here. I'm here for a year, and they announce we're going to SEC, and then our schedule comes out in the middle of last season, and on the schedule, of course, we got put in on LSU side, and
Wow.
we're going to play LSU at LSU next year, so it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it and super excited.
Can you touch on the JUCO college? Just talk
Hmm.
about it a little bit. I feel as though where I'm from, it's
Hmm.
not really a big thing. I don't
Hmm.
really even think that we have some near me. I know
Yeah.
it's more of like hockey players tend to do
Hmm.
something along the lines similar to where I'm from, but I've never heard of like a JUCO college. Can you kind of like explain it? Like, did you live there like a regular college?
Yeah, yeah, no, of course. So they're pretty big in Texas, Mississippi, even Kansas. We're and I'd say California are probably the states that for JUCO for football. Now they have it for baseball and all that stuff
Yeah.
as well, and hockey, like you said. But no, it was a fun experience. It was a little different. It's a small campus, you know. You stay in dorms like your freshman year, sophomore year. You can only play 2 years. So you get 2 years of eligibility, and from there, you better make it out to go play somewhere else or you're done,
Wow.
basically. So I was only there for one, but I stayed in the dorms with all the football guys. You kind of got guys from all walks of life. It's pretty fun and unique in that way because you got guys that are going there out of high school that didn't get the offers that they wanted and think they're better than that, and so they're going to prove themselves. You got guys coming in that had every offer they wanted but didn't make the grades to go to Division 1,
Yeah.
so now they have to do a year in JUCO. You got guys that were going SEC, going Big 10, Big 12, and got in trouble outside of school, and so they have to do JUCO for a
Yeah.
year. Or so it's a mix of a bunch of different people. I think that was the cool part. It was
Yeah.
almost like another year of high school for me, but I really enjoyed it because it was a good transition into college. Soft, like kind of soft transition. I had a lot of guys on my team that went Division 1 and either failed out of classes or had something go wrong after they had played a year in Division 1, and they
Yeah.
call those guys bounce backs. So they go to JUCO for a year and they try to bounce back to Division 1. So we had a lot of those guys on our team as well. So it was a good blend of guys that had made it to Division 1 and came back for
Yeah.
whatever reason, or guys that could go play and didn't make the grades or whatever. So it was a good blend of people, and we're all there in the dorms all together, and everyone's trying to make it out,
Yeah.
and get an opportunity. So everyone's uh, want to go out and perform every week and play their best, and it's still good competition. You got a lot of guys. I mean, looking back at my team, we had one of the better teams in all of JUCO, but I
Wow.
mean, we signed 12 to 15 Division 1 guys
That's
my
crazy.
year I left. So yeah, I mean, I played 4 or 5 of them this year. A couple went to Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Texas Tech.
Oh,
So
cool.
they're going to bigger
Yeah.
schools. It's not like they just made it out. So it was good competition as well, but fun. And I was still like 2 hours away from home. So if
Yeah.
I ever needed to go back on a weekend or whatever and see my parents or go grab something, I could. So it was a fun experience, and I was probably the closest with those guys than I had ever been with anyone on a football team. So it was really fun.
Do you have any aspirations to play after college? Like you said, you grew up,
Mhm.
your uncle, your dad making it. So would you ever continue to go on, like, declare for the draft, or you kind of are just like
Mhm.
gonna see where the ball rolls?
Yeah, no doubt. That's my dream and goal. Obviously, I got to get on to make that dream or goal come true. I got to perform really, really well at the college
Yeah.
level and get on the field. So right now, I'm working on getting onto the field, being the best I can every day,
Yeah.
putting on weight, getting better throwing, getting the playbook, hanging out with the guys, trying to be that guy here so I can have that opportunity in the future. But yeah, that is the ultimate goal and something that I definitely want to do.
What NFL team would you want to be on? If you had to choose one that you were gonna go tomorrow, who would you choose?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm such a big Saints fan growing up, being from Louisiana, and they play in
Yeah.
the Superdome, and their fans are they're the best, and it's electric. But I'd probably have to choose the Rams or the Chargers,
Oh, wow.
just because they're out in California. They got perfect weather. They got the new stadium, SoFi
Yeah.
Stadium. It's just kind of all perfect.
So I see from your Instagram that you ride
Mhm.
horses and you made a
A little
whole
bit,
video.
yeah.
Did you was that like your culture growing up? Was like being out like in the outdoors?
Um, to be honest with you, I had some grandparents and stuff, obviously, that lived on land and would go out in four-wheelers and ride on
Yeah.
tractor and mules and stuff with my cousins and have fun and stuff like that. I didn't ride a whole lot of horses. I had been on horseback a couple times, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a big thing. I didn't have any family members that had a bunch of cattle or horses like that, so I didn't get the opportunity to. But when I moved out here, I met the Gralla family, and they take care and own Boomer and Sooner horse
Oh,
that
wow.
ride out every day for game day. Yeah, so they have a farm actually that's, I mean, 2 miles away from the stadium and the
Oh,
facility,
wow.
and they had been nice enough to invite me out and get to see the horses, and they all ride and stuff like that.
You made
And
it
one
seem
day
so
they're just like,
natural. So like it maybe you think that you did it like all that at home.
I will say, before all the videos and the pictures came out for all that, I was up there with them 2 to 3
Practicing.
times for 2 weeks, just to make sure like everything looked good. They were giving me pointers like you should do this posture like that whole deal, like getting used to the horse. So it
Yeah.
was a fun experience, and I totally enjoy riding. So I still get to go out there and ride when they're around. They invite me out,
Cool.
and it's a whole lot of fun. Yeah.
Do you have a fun fact about you that no one knows or like a secret talent?
I don't know about a secret talent. I will say, and it's kind of new. My first year here at Oklahoma, at our very last game in our bowl game, I broke my throwing hand on my index finger.
Oh,
So I got a big right finger.
Oh my god.
So that's when I go to throw the ball. So I personally believe it's since it's so big and kind of stiff, it gives me a little extra spin on the football. So I guess that's
Wow.
something you maybe unique.
Yeah.
At first, it's kind of got in the way. I'm a little used to it now. Maybe
Yeah.
that's all in my head, but I guess that would be my fun or special fact. Yeah.
Do you have anyone that styles you for the Walk of Champions, or do you wear only a certain company? What do you decide like to wear?
Yeah, no, I don't have anyone that personally styles me. Now we have a company that's came in and custom fitted all of our suits
Yeah.
that does that for us. It comes in the summer, make sure we're all fitted up, takes care of us. We get to pick out like the color, the design, our ties, undershirt, the whole deal. Obviously, like shoes and stuff, we're out on our own for. That's kind of where
Yeah.
you can personalize it. But I try to switch it up. Now we get a new suit every year, so
Ooh.
I got 2 suits now, about to go for 3. So I try to get different colors, switch it up, the undershirt, get a new watch, shoes, or whatever. I can't keep up with some of the guys. Some of the guys are real fashion. Pete's one of those guys. He's always looking good and looks like uh, he knows exactly what he's doing. But I try
My
to
mom
I try to
helps
keep
him
up
though.
with the shoe game. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I saw your underwear video, like I said before,
Mhm.
with the whole horses. Have you done anything else with your last name like that? Like created any merch or anything?
Yeah, no, I have a store online, germanbootyshop.org. I actually work with the Children's Hospital that I was talking about earlier. We give
Yeah,
them 15% of the proceeds.
that's nice.
But I have some fun shirts and hoodies and stuff. Like one says "I love booty," booty call on there with me on the front, like in my football uniform, calling a play and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I have some fun stuff. I've done some things like that, and then obviously, like you mentioned, the underwear as well. But working on something new, actually with Rockham, who I did the underwear with.
Oh,
We should
cool.
have something coming out this
Nice.
summer. Still in the works, trying to get it done, but should have something coming up somewhat soon.
Yeah, and you have the opportunity to like make a joke out of it or make an opportunity
Right,
like, booty call. Like no one else has a
right.
last name Booty. Like,
Yeah. So gotta have fun with it for sure.
what would your dream career be? I mean, football is not always
Hmm.
promised. What are
Of
you like
course.
you going to school for? Is it something for your dream
Hmm.
career or do you have a dream career?
Hmm. Yeah, no. So I'm going to school. I'm a business communication major.
Oh, cool.
Um, Obviously with that, I guess that can lead to multiple things. I mean,
Yeah.
business and everyone communicates and stuff like that. Do the communication part of it just because I like to talk and take
Mhm.
public speaking classes. All that's
Oh,
fun, good to
cool. Good for
learn.
you.
But I would probably say I would like to go into real estate
Oh,
when I'm done, commercial real estate at that
oh,
too. I've always just found kind of that interesting
yeah.
and all the stuff they're able to do and learn, whether when it comes to not only just buying land or what they can do to invest that money and tax breaks and the whole everything that comes with
Yeah.
it. I just think it's a lot more when people talk real estate, they're like, oh, buy, sell land, buildings, whatever. Well,
Yeah.
like there's a lot more to it and they learn how to use their money and use it wisely and invest and roll it over into different properties and all that. And I just think it's really interesting. So that's probably what I'd like to go into after football.
So where are you living now? What state are you living in now?
So I'm on here on campus. I'm in Norman in Oklahoma. My parents have moved out to California.
Okay.
So they're in Newport Beach, California. So when I go back home to like go visit,
That's
I
nice. I
just
mean,
yeah, I get to go see them on the beach. So it's really nice, perfect weather.
would you do it over
Um,
there? Would you do real estate over there?
I
Okay.
would do it over. I'd do over there and try to do like coastal properties
Oh, cool. I mean,
for sure.
who
But I
doesn't?
got family all over. Yeah, no, my cousins, aunt, and uncles, they're in Dallas, which is another really good
Oh,
spot
that's a
to do
really
that
good
as
spot
well.
too.
Yep, my grandparents are back in. They're both in Shreveport, Louisiana, which is a little smaller spot. And then
Yeah.
all my other uncles and stuff that played football, they're in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, so they're
Oh,
all around Florida.
nice.
So a
Like,
bunch of good spots to
yeah, for
choose
you to
from. There.
go.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Do you have like a game day ritual? Like some people talk about
Hmm.
they only listen to one song or they don't wear that
Hmm.
sock or they
Yeah,
don't wear that pair of underwear. Like, do you
yeah.
have like your own thing?
I wouldn't say I have something that specific. Something that I do try to do every game day is obviously we all get off the bus, like you mentioned before, the Walk of Champions. We walk out in our suits and get to the locker room. I always have one playlist I listen to on game day. I mean, it's got like 70, 80 different songs, but just specific
Just
songs,
those.
all different genres. Is like it's just kind of my game day mix. So that's the only thing I listen to. My phone's on do not disturb, and then I always get dressed in shorts and a t-shirt real quick, and then I go walk the field pregame real quick, kind of to the end, look around whether we're home or away, and come back, and then I'll go warm up in just shorts, t-shirt, get warm, and then I'll come back into the locker room and I'll change, and then I'll put my pads on and get ready to go warm
Nice.
up again with the team. I try to keep that pretty consistent. I
Yeah.
don't say I have like a lucky sock or a wristband or anything like that I put my
Yeah.
trust in, but I just try to keep things as consistent as possible. I guess I'd say every game day they have snacks for us right when we get off the bus and into the locker room. I always have peanut butter and jelly. That's my go-to. So
There you
I
go.
guess that stays the same.
Yeah. Have you
Mhm.
met any cool people or inspirational people playing college football? You know, you're at a high level, and I'm sure there's some high people who've come to the games and stuff. Have you met anyone personally that like you think is like the absolute coolest that you had like kind of like a fanboy moment?
I'm trying to think. Obviously, Oklahoma is easy just because there's been a lot of legends here.
Yeah.
A couple that stick out was Adrian Peterson was at one of our
That's
games
cool.
last year, which I don't see him around the facility too much. I know he's got his own thing going on. So to see him at the game was pretty cool.
Nice.
The Boz is always around. I know you see him now still on the Dr. Pepper fans bill, but to see him come talk to the team and
That's so
stick around
cool.
and be part of the team, it's really cool. And then, I guess I got a good story. During the spring game last year, I had got in. I hadn't gone in for a play yet. Lev called down the headphones like, "Hey, General, you're going in. Get ready, warm up." So I warmed up, and I go to stand in the huddle, and we're about to break the huddle and go out. And someone comes in, puts his arm around me, and is like, "Hey," has a headset on. Voice I didn't really recognize. He's like, "Hey, let's run 22 Island Power Mickey or whatever, just something random." So I
Yeah.
turned around, so I was like, "That we don't even got that play. What's this guy talking about?" And so I turn around and it's Baker Mayfield. He's down there.
Oh
He had
my
stolen
God.
he had stolen one of the guys' headsets from one of like the younger coaches, and was down there in the huddle trying to get
That's
everyone
so
fired up.
cool.
And he was like, "All right, let's go have a good drive." And then I never saw him after that, but I had never met him before. So the first
That
time
was
to meet him, it was kind of funny, cool moment. I thought that was pretty cool. That definitely stuck out to me. And then another
Pete.
big one would be Lana Del Rey at the UT OU game.
Wow.
Yeah, that was cool too.
Oh, Lana Del Rey, you're gonna get some
Mhm.
girls going with her. Like
Yeah.
people love her. I love her music too.
She's awesome. Oh yeah, she's the best.
Peter's probably was dying at the fact that Baker Mayfield, like being when he was on the Browns,
Mhm.
we went to the training camp when he was there.
Oh really?
So yeah, when we
Huh.
were younger. So Peter
Uh-huh.
was probably so jealous.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm sure he saw him on the sideline. He kind of snuck down there. That's why everyone was caught off guard.
Oh
It was like
wow.
it was the middle of the spring game, and no one had seen him like prior. He didn't speak to the
Yeah.
team. No one said he was there, and he just kind of snuck down during the tunnel and was on the sideline messing around for like 10 minutes, then went back in. So I hope Pete did get to see him because it was pretty cool.
I see that you're involved with a lot of like NIL. Do you have
Mhm.
like a favorite thing that you've done so far?
The underwear's got to be up there for sure,
Yeah.
just because everything
It's
that went on to
unique.
make that. Yeah, it's unique. Everything that went on to make that work, like we talked about riding the horses.
Yeah.
Just the idea of the underwear. Rock'em, the company that I worked with, they're awesome. They're the best. The Growlers who let us use their farm and the horses for the photo shoot. So that was really cool with them as well. It just kind of everything came together. And then I'd probably say another one would be Cane's. Growing up in Louisiana,
Yeah, I
that's where
saw that. I was
Cane's.
gonna ask, do you like their
Yeah.
food? Have you ever tried it
Oh,
before?
yeah, I love it. So growing up in Louisiana, that's where Kane started out. The Todd Graves, who's
Oh
the
wow.
owner, actually was at LSU with my father and uncle when they were there and started the first Canes in Baton Rouge, where
Wow.
LSU's at. So that's kind of like a hometown thing that's grown
Yeah.
over time. Like even when I moved from middle school from Louisiana and moved out to California with my parents, like that wasn't like no one knew what that
No,
was, and there
I
was
don't
no
have
Canes.
any either. Like I did not like it just came to New York City, but the closest
Yeah.
one to me is 2 hours. So
Oh, I got you. No, it's the best. I love it. But when I got to California, they like a year later, Canes moved out there, and like it's
oh
always busy. And from then, it's exploded. I mean, Canes done a great job, and they're an awesome organization, and their food's the best. But that was pretty cool, just because
Yeah.
that was a kind of a Louisiana thing, and I got to work with them, and they're here on campus now. So that
there
was
you
that was
go.
a fun opportunity as well, for sure.
If you could travel back in time to
Mhm.
any game in football history, you've had a long history of football. Is there a game that you would choose to go back and watch, even as a
Ooh.
spectator or even?
As a spectator, that's tough, but I'd probably go back to when Joe Namath won the very first Super Bowl, when he guaranteed he was going to win it.
Oh wow!
And they were big time underdogs. No one really knew who Joe Namath was at the time.
Yeah,
I just think it'd be really cool. Obviously, there's a lot of games you can go back and watch on YouTube
Yeah.
and TV now, just because we've had for so long. But to be able to go back and witness that and see how football was back then, that long ago, very first one, big time underdog win, Joe Namath, legendary QB. That would be what I'd have to pick.
That's so cool. If you
Yeah.
were stranded on a desert island with any of your offensive line, which teammate would you want there?
Oh,
And
any
why?
offensive lineman?
Any offensive line, anyone.
Oh,
Even
I
if
like
you want to pick
all-
someone from the defense, you can. If you had to
Yeah.
pick one teammate.
if I'm going to go offensive line, I'm probably going to go Jacob Sexton. And the
Okay.
reason why I'm picking Jacob, because there's a lot of multiple good picks on the O line I could have went with. Jacob's really good outdoors.
I was gonna say you gotta pick someone that like knows how to survive.
Big old. Not only is a big old dude, real big, strong, a state champion wrestler, all that goes without saying, because all the O linemen are strong. He could really live off the land and know how to survive. Plus his dad. I've gone over there for Thanksgiving last year.
Oh
And his
wow.
dad's one of the best cooks / barbecuer, grill master, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it, I've been around. So the fact that Jacob's been around that all of his life
You think he can
and
make some
got
good
to see
meals on
that,
that?
I think he could make some really good meals and make some stuff work. Yep.
If you could invite 3 celebrities, dead or alive, to watch a game at Oklahoma that you are playing in,
Mhm.
who would you want there?
Oh, 3 celebrities.
Even like
I
dead or
think-
alive.
Yeah. That's tough. I think you got to go outside of football. Like I don't know if I'd pick any football people, just because that's what we're around all the time. Although
Yeah,
it's still really
no.
cool to see them greats and
Yeah,
stuff.
pick someone outside the box.
I got to go with. I think you go with Will Ferrell as one
Oh,
of them, just
that's cool.
because he's such a funny dude and great time. He'd bring a really good energy on the sideline. And I think that would just be a
Yeah.
good time. Also, I would go with. I think you got to bring J-Lo out on the sideline.
Oh,
Just for all the attention and the star factor.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, I would go Mike Tyson.
Oh,
Just because he's the baddest dude to ever
Yeah.
walk the planet. So I think that it would be a very cool mixture of 3 people.
Yeah.
Be very different for their own reasons. You got
Yeah.
comedian and Will Ferrell. You got
Yeah, you
J-Lo,
got
singer,
a dynamic.
and then you got Mike Tyson. So I would go with those 3 just because they're all so different.
Well, thank you, General, for coming on
Yeah.
BS with Bella. I really appreciate it. And
No,
tune
thank
in,
you for
guys,
having
next week. Bye.
Bye.
This Jersey girl has no filter.
So are you getting a lot of hate?
Yeah, a lot of hate.
Bullshit.
Welcome to BS with Bella.